Class 4, 1400 metres for race 3 Sha Tin on Saturday afternoon, and the field is headed by Amazing Chocolate for Alberto Sanna, drawing gate 6. Shuson Neil Callan in 5. 70-70 hasn't raced for 6 months. His last start was back on the 10th of March. Lucky Wind Rider, a 4-year-old by Loop de Vega. A 4-year-old ISG Party Every Day on debut by Snitzel. Casper Founds, Tony Cruz, trainers respectively. Phenomenal. There he is, Lotus Breeze, looking for a hat-trick. Drawn barrier 11 on this occasion. Drew 8 last start. Fun Times and Mr. Magellan has drawn better in gate 2. Now, Shuson Neil Callan is sticking with him after finishing 4th last start behind Big Fortune, his first run for the term. He's been back to Chunpa.
A race where there's no clear leader here. Good to slow, predicted phenomenal. He's raced forward in his 2 runs, but hasn't been able to go on with it in the straight. The interesting one in the race is Relentless Me with a few gear changes. Blinkers going back on. Crossover noseband first time because he's got a mixed pace profile where he has raced forward in the past, and he's got a change of trainer with Douglas White, so he sparks a lot of interest.
Nice quiet piece of work here from Party Every Day. He's a ISG first starter. Tongue Tie Go On, his debut is 11.27 pounds. He's had 2 trials, Tony Cruz and Derek Long. Out of Scarlet Lady, we're just talking off here, obviously was a Group 1 one over a lot longer. Relentless Me, now the blinkers will go back on him. He did race with him 3 times when he was with Chris So. He's now with Douglas White. Has won off a high rating before, and he does move nicely. And I thought Mr. Magellan's work here was very, very good, working with UW Brother. That's him there closest to us, and he moves really nicely, I thought, and he was a bit unlucky on debut.
He was,
seasonal
and
debut.
Has a better barrier draw, as we mentioned too, barrier number 2 for him. Let's firstly go to Edward Sadler, who caught up with Chad Schofield Friday morning at Happy Valley Trials.
Chad, Lotus Breeze, you've won his last 2 on him, but he steps up to Class 4 now. How do you think he'll go on this grade?
Yeah, I'm hoping he continues his really good form of late. Obviously, he won at the end of last season on a softest track, which he really enjoyed, and again with top weight early in this season. So the horse is in really, really good form. He's really happy at the moment and he's feeling good. We know he's got form competitive in Class 4 in the past. He's an old horse now, but hopefully just being in the right frame of mind and in a good space at the moment, he can keep running really well.
He's drawn barrier 11. You went back on him last time out. Does the gate matter?
We didn't plan to ride him to be that far back last time, but he didn't jump all that well and the pace was really, really quick. So we were where we were and he finished strong. We were able to save all the ground that day, but hopefully from 11 we can get a bit of luck again. And he's gonna try hard and he's gonna hit the line. Hopefully he can get over the top.
Would you like a nice pace here?
Yeah, preferably, yes. He, you know, with dropping from top weight to 120, he's going to hopefully have a nice turn of foot, so with a bit of pace on will help.
And you've ridden the likes of Villafion last time out. That looked like a good run from him. Relentless Me is a horse you've had a bit to do with. What's your gauge on the opposition in this race? Yeah,
I mean, Villafion was improved last time. His form prior to his last start was pretty poor, but he did run an improved race last time, albeit he had a perfect trip. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about Villafion all that much, and Relentless Me is obviously in a new stable now, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Right, I was going to make it my long shot Villafion, so I might have to reassess. Let's move on to Shuson, who's probably the pick of these 2 we're highlighting here. Superb agility, hasn't done a great deal so far.
No, he hasn't. Out of the Peter Ho stable, he's drawn wide, but Shuson with Neil Callan, John Moore, drawn barrier number 5. I thought he received a pretty good run on the fence here. He just wasn't quite able to get past Big Fortune to gap them here at this point, but I thought he boxed on all right to say he could be a chance in this race.
Yeah, he's going to have natural improvement, and John Moore's actually said a lot of his horses are sort of slightly behind the 8 ball, and maybe he's one of them as well. So his work's been reasonably well coming into it.
All right, let's move on now to Villafion and Phenomenal, who is likely to spear along on the lead, but he struggled to sort of find the line okay. And, well, I thought this was a decent enough run from Villafion, and I do think with potentially the wide barrier, they may ride him quiet, and I think he actually is a horse that's got a good turn of acceleration. I'm going to take a little chance with him. When he first got here, he looked quite progressive. I didn't think this was an overly strong Class 4, so a little value runner for me.
Yeah, for him as well. I thought it was a good enough run on that occasion. Couldn't have Phenomenal.
He started off on 73, so you'd say he should just be about be at a winning mark now, surely.
Bit of money for Golden 4 in place betting early, and Fun Times is a horse that's had a few chances already.
Yeah, a couple of placings, a couple of fourth placings as well for this 5-year-old by Savabeel. There is ability there. Recent barrier trial was okay. This was going back to Champions Day on the 26th of May. Karis Teaton on board this horse for the first time. There's ability there. The jury can, I think, be a little bit out, though.
Yeah, a little bit awkward barrier 8 with him as well, Fun Times. But look, 1,400 metres fresh up is probably his go there.
All right. And 70-70. Now, this horse can gallop. There's no doubt. We're looking at a trial here from him on the 6th of September down there on the rail. He has had quite a few soundness issues, which is why he's been away from the races for 6 months.
He has won up fresh before this horse as well, so I think this is the time to catch him. He won off 54 on that occasion. He's now rated 56, so he's still quite well rated. A little bit awkward at 9, but look, I found a spot for him on a minor line.
That was his fresh run last season as well, back on the 1st of October. He's had some fetlock issues and some orthopaedic issues as well, so there's been a few issues that have kept him away.
He has broken 22 for his last 400, and as Paul said, fresh might be best. He beat Complacency last season, and he was going well at the time. Who's the tip, Paul?
I really like this Mr. McGallion down the bottom. I think this horse really improved in the off-season. He went out favourite on seasonal debut, and he got last. He was last in the turn. He came really wide, but he hit the line stronger than anything else. That was from a barrier of 14. He's now got barrier 2. Grant Van Niekerk aboard, and I just think he's going to get the best run in the race. I really like him in this. So he's on top. Villafon, I've got him in there for second. Relentless Me. Now, Relentless Me changed stables. They put the blinkers back on him. He has run in them before. 3 starts. Didn't do too much in them last time. So interesting to see how now he's a bit of older horse, if that helps him. 77 in for 4th. 14, 9, 7 and 3, but I like the 14.
I'm going to take a chance here with Fortunate Runner coming out of the stable of Francis Loy, and Vincent Ho rides barrier 13. Got caught wide, 4 wide with no cover last start, and still stayed on okay to be only beaten just over 3 lengths. So take him. He's at around 12s and 480 at the moment. Mr. Magellan goes in, Relentless Me, and I will throw in Fun Time. So 4, 14, 7 and 13.
All right. So 14 featuring both there in Paul's and Tom's selections, along with 1 or 2 other numbers.